Hello students, welcome once again. Today we are going to do the new words and question answers for the poem My Shadow. Now, our shadow is a very fascinating thing. We observe that we can scare someone with our shadows. We can make so many things that are very interesting when the lights are out. Especially I remember when I was a kid and there was no light at home, we used to light candles and make animals on the wall with our shadows. It was a great technique, and usually we play it with our siblings to scare them or to make them happy. So let's proceed with the new words. The new word in this poem are Indian rubber ball. It's a ball that can bounce very high. Now, the Indian rubber ball is even smaller than your palm. We can bounce it quite well. You just have to throw it once. It's like a ping pong ball. The next word is buttercup. What's a buttercup? It's actually a flower that's yellow in color. The other word is errant. Errant means something bad. Errant sleepyhead. Now, sleepyhead means someone who loves to sleep. We usually scare the people, who sleep a lot because we feel jealous about them that they are sleeping and we have to do all the work. Now, let's start with the question answers. Turn to page number 44. Now, in this page on textbook, you are given a few questions that you have to write it in your notebook, along with the new words and their meanings also. The first question is, who do you think your shadow looks like? Have you ever thought what your shadow looks like? Of course, we know how a shadow looks like us. I think my shadow looks like me because it is our shadow. We stop the light because we are opaque, and because of that we cast a shadow. Next question is, why do you think your shadow jumps into bed before you can? Now, usually shadows are formed on the opposite direction of the light. So if your light is on your back, then your shadow will be in front of you. And if the light is in front of you, your shadow will be on your back. So usually our lamps or the lights are in the middle of the in the middle of the room. And our bed is in one corner or on one side. So when we move towards the bed, our shadow is in front of us. So when I go near my bed, my shadow falls on the bed before I can get into the bed. What time of the day do you think when your shadow is the tallest, and why? Now, the reason why our shadows are tall is because of the angle of the light source. Now here we'll talk about the sun. In the morning, the sun is not on top of us. It's either on the side of us, left, right, front or back. That's why the shadows are tallest in the morning and in the evening. Now you are given three options: morning, afternoon and night. That's why we will choose morning, because in the afternoon our shadow is the shortest, and at night we don't see it unless we are walking out in the moon or in street lights. Question 4. Read the lines from the poem and answer the following questions. He is very like me, from the hills to the head. Now what are the hills? Hills are the lowest part of your feet. We have the toes, and at the end of those toes we have heels. You know those shoes that have high heels? That part is known as the heel of your foot or your feet. Now, from head to toe, our shadow looks like us. Now, who does he refer to? Here, he means the shadow. It can be my shadow or your shadow. Now, here we are talking about our shadow. Who does me refer to? Now, here me refers to the person who is speaking in the poem. So me refers to the speaker in the poem. Why are he and me alike? How is me and him alike? We are alike because the shadow of mine would be the same, and we are tied to it. Our shadow is not different from us. If we look down at our feet, the shadow will start from our legs and move ahead, right? So we are attached to the shadow, and our shadow will look like us because it is our opaque, what do you say, figure. That's why. We still have a few questions like work in pairs and discuss the following. What would you do if a dog chases you? What would you do? Like, look at this boy. He is running from the dog, right? Because he's chased by a dog. I would not run away. The dog will also stop chasing me. That's true. You know, when a dog chases you and you start running, they will chase you more. They think it's a game. And we are their entertainment. But if we stop running, they won't do anything to us. They will also stop chasing us. On page number 45, we have a next question. Now, these questions you have to write it in your textbook, not in your notebook. A dog chases you. That we have already done. The next question is, you have forgotten your homework copy at home. What would you do? I would tell the truth to the teacher. Lying will always get you in trouble. Telling the truth is the right thing to do. But that does not mean you have to form a habit of doing that. I cannot forget my homework every day and say, ma'am, I forgot, sir, I forgot. But once in a while, once in a blue moon, that means rarely, sometimes we forget our work. And that time we have to tell the truth. You are alone in a room and the lights go out. What would you do if you are alone at home or in the room, there are no lights? Then you should light something up, a candle or a torch. Some people get scared of the dark, especially at nights. Now here we are talking about a night. Okay? Because the lights go out. So you can light a candle or a torch and you can feel safe. There are children who get scared in the dark. Even as a child, I used to be scared of the dark. But the thing is, there is no monster in the dark. Everything is the same as it was in the day and night. Okay? Now, there is another activity. Shine a torch behind your hand and see its shadow on the wall. We can see in the textbook on page number 45, look at this boy. He has lit a torch and has put his hand on there. Move the torch a little away from your hand and see the shadow on the wall. Now, when the torch is closer to your hand, you could not see the full shadow of your hand, right? But when it is a little far, we see the whole hand. Do you find a difference in the size of the hand on the wall? This is something you should try at home. And you will come to know if your shadow would become bigger or not. Definitely, it would. Work in groups of 5. Make a large hand on a plain sheet. Mark the names of fingers, thumb, palm on the hand. Use the hints given in the box. Now, the hints in the box are 4, middle, ring, small and thumb. Now let me show you a hand with all the names on it. Look at this one. Before that, yes, there is a difference. The hand of the shadow becomes smaller than the first shadow on the wall. As we put the torch away, our shadow will become smaller. Now, Here is the part of our hand. Look at this. This part is known as the thumb. This one is the index finger or the pointing finger. Now, this point here that we are given is our fingernail, right? Now, this finger, the longest one, is the middle finger. And this one beside the middle finger is our ring finger. The little one over here is known as the little finger, or the other name for little finger is pinky. Now, see these bands you see in the hand? These are known as knuckles. They're used for punching or making a fist in your hand. They join and form a perfect fist. Now, this part is known as the wrist, where we wear the watch. That's why it's known as a wristwatch. Now, the front part of the hand here, it's known as the palm. And when we tie it up, like we are punching someone, that is known as a fist. So I hope I'm very clear with it. Place your hand in your notebook and draw all your fingers and write their names like thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger or pinky, knuckles and wrist. Now, if you would like, then you can draw a palm and a fist as well. Now, there are other things that we should do. On the same page, we are given, do the actions as given below and observe which part or fingers of your hand is being used. So what part of your finger or hand is being used? Point at the door. When we are pointing at the door, we usually use our index finger. Bouncing a ball, we use our palm. To scratch our chin, we use our forefinger and thumb. Twist our ear, we use our forefinger and ear as well. Now when we comb our hair, we use all our fingers and curve our knuckles to comb our hair. Draw with a pencil. Now while we are holding a pencil, we'll need a thumb, index finger and a middle finger. When we are touching a flower in a plant, we usually point it out or touch it with our index finger. Now here we haven't mentioned the ring and the pinky finger or the small finger. Now let's turn to page number 46. Now look at this. Fill in the blanks using one of the words given in the brackets. So let's do this. These are the WH words that I've taught you. Where is the child? Where is the child? Dash. Parents have come to school. Where is the child whose parents have come to school? We cannot say who. When we are talking about who, it's just one person. Now here there are parents, so there are many, so it would be whose. And which is where we are told to choose from them. I saw many houses, dash were quite spacious. I saw many houses which were quite spacious. We cannot say whose or who because we are not told who it belongs to. When we are talking about one owner, it would be who, and when we are talking about owners, it would be whose. Here, we are told about the option, that's why we are using which. Mathematics dash is my favorite subject is so interesting. Mathematics, which is my favorite subject, is interesting because we are given an option over here. The poem dash you read out is so lovely. The poem that you read out is so lovely. I know the street that he lives on. not whose or which. We can also use which. I know the street which he lives on, but it will not be grammatically correct. So we say, I know the street that he lives on. I like reading books that have pictures in it. The old lady whom I met in your house is my neighbor. Now here we're talking about one person and we don't have the option who, then we use whom. Now, on the same page, page number 46 in your textbook, we are given complete this description by answering the questions below. What do you think is the name of the dog? Why is she called that? What color is she? Do you think she is friendly? What does she like to eat? Now, from the picture, we can think about what the dog is like. Now, when we turn to page number 47, we are given, write a few lines on Mithu and his little dog named Shadow. So, from that we know that I think the name of the dog is Shadow. This answers, you have to write it on page number 47 where you are given blanks on top of the page. What is it called? What is she called? She is called Shadow because she follows Mithu like a shadow where she goes. Now the dog is very fond of Mithu that she follows her everywhere. What color is she? She is grey in color, grey or white. It depends on how you see the dog. Do you think she is friendly? Yes, the dog is very friendly. Otherwise, it would not follow Mithu everywhere. What does she like to eat? She likes to eat chop and dog biscuits. But in the picture we can see that she loves bones. Say a few words loud. Now, here are a few words. I'm going to speak them twice for you. The first word is shoe, ship, shell. So say them with me. Shoe, ship and shell. Shadow, ship, shade. Shadow, ship, shade. Fish, dish, wish. Fish, dish, wish. Bush, wash, brush. They don't rhyme. Bush, wash and brush. You have to say these words and send its audio to me along with your homework. When the sun shines, I can see my shadow right in front of me. When I walk, my shadow walks. When I hop, my shadow hops. When I jump, my shadow jumps. And when I stop, my shadow stops. You can act according to this poem. You can move around, jump, hop, and see what your shadow does. Now let's summarize what we did today. First, we did the new words and the meanings, then the question answers. Now these new words and question answers, you have to write it in your notebook. Then we are given a situation and how you would react. That excuse me. That you have to do it in your textbook because there are blanks in it. After that, on page number 45, we did a fun time where we had to draw our hand and name the fingers and the part of the hand. We also did an activity that is done at night. You switch off the lights, stand in the dark on a torch. Put the torch near your hand and then try to take it away and see how the shadow forms. Is it bigger or smaller? You have to send that picture to me. Next, we were given some activities and we had to say whether they are done by the finger or the fist or what part of the hand it was used. Then on the next page, on page number 46, we were given now this what part of the hand that it should be used should be written in a notebook. Now on page number 46, we were given WH questions, or WH words in that we had to fill in the blanks, that you have to do it in your textbook. Then we were given a picture of a dog and we were told that the dog's name was Shadow and the owner's name was Mithu. Their question answers should be written in the textbook. We were given few words that we had to say aloud. You have to send that audio to me. Then we are given a poem and you have to react to it and send its pictures to me. All this work you have to do it and send it to me before 10 a.m. tomorrow. That's all for today. Bye-bye.